Hi quilting friends, this is Janae King and welcome to block number 6 of Cabin by the Lake at Whitlock Sewing and Vac. We are in August 2018 and can you believe we're on block number 6? This is great. One of the things that I know about myself is I'm a thinker and sometimes I overthink things, but I was thinking this morning about our quilt and I was thinking, you know, this is a really big project and for some it might be an overwhelming project. And one of the things that I have learned even super recent, is that the only way to accomplish a big task is to just do a little bit at a time. So, you know the saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. That's how you conquer a big project. And recently I cleaned out a big storage room in my basement and it was overwhelming. But the only way that I could do it was just looking at it one box at a time. So I went through one box at a time and it was amazing how quickly I was able to accomplish my task because I did it just a little bit at a time. So any project in your house, if you're looking at it and you're thinking, how in the world am I ever going to accomplish this? Well, just do a little bit at a time. So if this quilt seems overwhelming to you and you're just not sure where to even start, I just suggest sitting down at your sewing table and doing one little thing to help you accomplish the task at hand. So maybe that one little thing is just opening up your kit for the month and looking through the fabrics. Maybe that's all you do for that day. Maybe the next day you open it up and you read the pattern. Maybe the next day you pick up one fabric and decide to cut that one fabric into the squares that are needed. So just do a little bit at a time, and I promise you that gets the ball rolling and you actually will get inspired to just keep working on it and keep working on it. Before you know, you'll realize that you have a whole block done. So I think that I might have heard that some of you are struggling with the sun, and I know the sun block was difficult and I know it's very scary, but I just suggest setting down and going one step at a time, and you look at the pattern, read through it. The next day, maybe cut a couple triangles out. Just do a little bit every day, and then you'll have the sun done in the end. So give it a try and just don't throw in the towel. Just don't give up on it. So let's get going on this month's block. So what I want to do today is first off tell you what you're going to find in your kit. I want you to be very, very careful when you pull out all the fabric because it is in order of how you're going to put the trees together. So this month we are working on trees, and you are going to make 3 trees that look like this design up here on the top. 1, 2, and then the third one will have this background right here. So it's going to be light, medium, and dark fabric. Those are considered your 12-inch trees. The trees down here are considered the narrow trees, and those are going to be 10 inches tall, and you'll only have 2 of them. So one will have a checkered blue background, and one will have the light blue background. So let's go through what you're going to find in your kit this month. So when you pull out your fabrics for this month, they will be in a stack. There's a lot of fabric this month, and they should be in order of how I'm going to explain them right now. So the first piece is going to be a piece of brown. This is for the 12-inch trees, all of their trunks, all 3 of the trunks. The first set of fabric that I'm going to pull out is the light blue fabric with a green check and a green flower. That is going to be for block number 1. The next set of fabrics is going to be for your second tree right there, and it's going to have a light blue background, which is a batik. You're going to have green dots on the top of the tree And then underneath the green dots is going to be a fabric that I called grape leaves. And that will be for the second 12-inch tree. The third set of fabric that you're going to pull out of your kit is going to be a dark background, dark blue background. It's going to be green leaves on the top, and then there's kind of this bright flowery green for the second half of the tree. The next set of fabric that you're going to pull out of your kit, let me show you. It's quite a big stack of fabric. And the first piece is going to be brown dots. Those are going to be for the 10-inch tree's trunk. The next piece is going to be a long 3.5-inch by the width of fabric piece for the background. This is actually the background that you see right there on that tree. This is the blue check. You will have a piece of light blue, and it will be 3.5 inches by the width of fabric, a very long strip, and that will be, it's actually right here as well, the background for your next tree. You're going to have a piece of dark blue paisley in your kit. That is for the very bottom of your tree on either side of the trunk. Then you're going to have 4 pieces. You will have 2 7-inch squares, and then you'll have 2 pieces that are 7 by 14. The 2 7-inch squares are going to be for the 2 tops of the trees, and the 2 7 by 14 will be for the 2 pieces on the bottom of the trees. Now let me explain this a little bit. So when you cut up the 2 7-inch squares, so I have 2 right here, 2 pieces, you will cut 1 piece for the top of one tree. You will cut 1 piece for the next piece in the tree. And then the tree that is going to come over here with this lighter blue background, these pieces will flip-flop. So the top here will be the second fabric on the next tree over, and this green here will be the top on this second tree over here. So the pattern explains that. It tells you to take those 2 7-inch squares and cut them up into the pieces that you need to make those 2 trees. So just be really careful that you're cutting the right sizes for all of the trees, but also make sure that your fabric placement is correct. So inside your kit, you are going to receive a extra little piece of paper. What I've done is I've blown up the pattern piece basically, and I've typed in the names of the fabrics and where they are going to go. So what I did is I numbered the trees. So I've numbered the trees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 total trees that we're going to make this month for our quilt, and I've numbered them. I've numbered them on the extra handout sheet. So each tree is going to receive its own set of fabrics, and it's going to receive actually, I'm not sure what it's going to receive. But anyway, so each tree will be numbered, and hopefully from that you'll be able to figure out where each of the pieces go. So one of the things that I recommend is when you get home, cut this piece of paper up into little squares that look like trees and pin them to each set of your fabrics. So you would take this set right here, which is going to be the third tree here, and you would just pin on that little diagram that I've printed out for you, pin it onto this stack of fabric. That way you know in a month or 2 months or whenever you can get to this block that this is for the third tree, and that is the way the fabrics are going to go together. Now also, there are 2 different sizes of greens in your kit. So if you're not really sure, just remember the 7-inch square is the top of the tree, and the 7 by 13 or the 7 by 14 goes on the lower pieces of the tree. Now I just want to say, if by some chance you get home and you throw your blocks everywhere and they get all mixed up, it's okay. I did not really worry too much about the green placement as long as I had enough fabric to make the blocks for those trees. So if you get home and you're not sure which fabric goes with which tree, the first thing to do is just look at the handout that I gave you, and it should explain where those pieces go. Second of all, measure the green fabric, because the green fabric should correspond to a size in your pattern, so give you some clues on where those fabrics go. In your kit, you are going to find some filler fabrics, and your kit this month wants you to have pieces for I, J, and K. And in your kit, you're going to find 2 pieces, okay? Only 2. You're missing 1 filler piece, okay? So I don't want you to freak out when you see only 2 filler fabrics this month, because you're missing piece I, okay? I'm going to give you piece I in next month's kit. Okay, so it really won't make any difference in making your trees. You'll be able to make your trees just fine. But as soon as I give you piece I, then you will be able to put a couple of those filler pieces onto the trees.